Okay, so my mom showed me these little C pennies, or first rounds, or whatever you want to call them, and asked me if I could teach her how to put them together. I guess she found these at a yard sale or the thrift store. Somebody might have gave them to her, I don't know. But this morning she sent me a text message and says, "Hey, show me how to do this." And I was like, okay, well, they seem to be already done. She says, "No, join them. How do I join them?" So this is what I'm going to show you guys how to do. How to join C pennies, or whatever they're called. I think C pennies is cute, so that's what I'm going to call them. Alright, so I have a very loose C penny that I have already started. As you can see, loose means not tight. The centerpiece here. Focus. Thank you. This centerpiece, stay focused. This centerpiece can be pulled to create a tighter ring. See? It takes a little doing, a little bit of adjusting as you go, but in the end you have a nice tight little ring. And this is the one tail that we're going to leave out to weave in and out later, because as you work it will get looser. So me pulling it tight was kind of pointless, but I was just showing you. This is the tail that we will be weaving in. The slip knotted tail that you can see how it got slip knotted right here to join with the beginning chain that was coming up from right there. Now, C pennies can have many different rounds to them. You can make them in 10, 15, 20, however many you want. It's a good idea if you're going to be making them into squares like this one. If you're going to be making them in squares, you need to make sure that they are divisible by 4, because you have to have 4 corners, of course. So, for the purpose of this tutorial, and for my mother's sake, because the penny rounds that she showed me had 20 rounds to them, we're going to be using a 20 round. So, I'm going to join my way. This is not how most people join, but it is how I join. Into the loop before your slip knot. This is my loop before my slip knot. I'm going to slip my hook in and grab my white strand. Now before I do that, I'm going to attempt to show you something kind of important. This right here is a middle post of this top chain. This little bitty post right here. When going in and out and crocheting your rounds to make this, if you want them all to look nice and uniform like this, you want to make sure you pick up those middle rounds. Or you can make sure that you leave them loose. But whatever you do, make sure it's the same thing. Otherwise you're going to end up with a little zigzag like this. This is where I grabbed all of it, and then the rest of the way around I did not. I think leaving them makes them look kind of pretty, so that you only grab the top 2 rings. So that's the way I'm going to do this tutorial if my camera will stop trying to focus on something else. So I'm going to go in, and as you can see here, I only have those 2 rounds, nothing else, and that's what we're going to go with. The round before my tail. Now let's see if my camera will stay focused. Probably not. So here we go. I have my thread, and I'm just going to loop it over my hook and pull it through. And there we go. That's my join. Now my tail is going to go up front with my pink tail, because we are going to weave them in, or crochet over them so we don't have to weave in. I'm sorry. So I have my 2 tails at the front, because the white tail will try to go to the back, and you want to try to keep it up front with you. That way you don't lose it. Now, for the corner is what we're going to make first. And you have to go up 5 to make this corner and these 2 chains right here. That will create our corner. We're going to go to right about here where my fingernail is. So, chain 5. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to try to stay in frame. 4 and 5. Alright, now we're going to double crochet into the same spot as we joined. So yarn over, we have our yarn right here, go over and go back in to the same hole, and make sure that your tails are on top of your hook because you're going over them. And again, my white tail likes to go hide in the back, so I have to keep it controlled. Yarn over again, and pull back up through the same hole, and yarn over it one more time. Sorry, I know my camera is not wanting to focus and it's hard for me to stay in frame. So now that we have yarned over, let's see if I can show you. There are 4 hooks, or 4 loops on our hook. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull through the first 2. 1, 2, and then you're going 2 hooks left, yarn over, and pull through again. 1, 2. That's our first double crochet. We make 1 more into this same hole. Yarn over, go in and make sure your tails are on top of your hook. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. 1 and 2, and yarn over and pull through 1 and 2. Alright, our corner has been made. Now, once we've gone all the way around, we'll make that other double crochet in that same hole and join. But right now we're going to work our way around. So, now we have to make 4 double crochets all the way across. Again, yarn over. See if I come way out here, maybe it'll stop trying to focus. Go into the next hole. Let me see here. We have to join these 2 posts together because of our slip knot. So, don't go in and under the slip knot. You go into the next one right here. That one. So I have my yarn over, and now I'm going to go into that hole, and I don't want to go all the way through. I just want the 2 hooks on the top right here. So make sure my tails stay over, yarn over, pull through, and you might catch that post, so just be careful pulling it back through that you don't catch that post under there. Yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. Keep my yarn in my hand. Now I know it looks like this big ugly space is there, but that's alright. Once we get everything tightened up, you won't even notice it. Alright, yarn over again and go into the next stitch. Just the 2 loops at the bottom, at the top, I'm sorry. And over your tails, pull up a loop, yarn over, go in 2, yarn over, go in 2. Let's see if I can get this camera to stop trying to focus on everything but me. Now we're going to yarn over again and go into the next one, over our tails, pull up a loop, yarn over, 1, 2, yarn over, 1, 2. Alright, we have 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. We need one more, and then we can do our next corner. Go in, keep your tails secured, pull up a loop. Whoops, got a little bit pink in there. 1, 2, yarn over, 1, 2, and we have 4 single pieces, all double crochets. So now we have to make our 1, 2, and go back to our corner. So now in this next hole right here, we're going to make 2 double crochets in the same hole. So yarn over, go in my hole, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull up a loop, in the next loops, and again, alright, that is half a corner made. We have 2 double crochets in the same hole. Now we have to chain 2, 1 and 2, and now we're going to make 2 more double crochets in that same hole. I'm going to go ahead and cut my tails, but you don't have to if you want to go ahead and just round them out. I'm using very big bulky scissors I don't need, but my little scissors are with another project. So, snip. Alright. Now, once everything is pulled and loosened and whatnot and washed and whatever, you might have to trim them again, but for now they're fine. They're out of the way, which is what we want. So yarn over, same hole, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, 1 loop, 2 loops, and 1 loop, 2 loops. And one more time. And our corner has been made. See? Now it looks a little rounded right now, but that's okay. Once we have it all together, it will look much more squared. And then of course, if you're going to block them, make them look even more squared. If not, when you join them, they will also look much more square-like. So, next little hole right here gets its own double crochet, as do the next 3, because you have to have 4 before you can do another corner. Some more yarn. 1, 2, 3, one more. Alright, ready for our next corner. Double crochet 2, chain 2, that chain was a bit big. All I did was let out 1 loop and go right back to where it was. And now I'm going to go back into the same hole and create 2 more double crochets. I'm going to pull some more yarn because my tension's starting to get tight. Okay. Alright, ready for our next 4 across. Three and 4. Now we're going to make our corner. 2 double crochets together in the same hole. 1, 2. Chain 2. And 2 more double crochets. 1, 2, alright. Now in my next 4. 1, 2, 3, and lastly 4. Alright, now you have to make 1 more double crochet into the same as your beginning hole. Right there. Going to go into that hole with our double crochet, pull up 2 loops, pull up 2 loops. That double crochet is done. Now, from the bottom, you want to count your 1, 2, 3 into your 3rd one. You want just the top loops, not the back loops. If you have to go in one at a time, that's okay. That's what I do, just because that way I know I've done it right. I like to turn it around to the back and separate them. Whatever works best for you. See how I only have those 2 loops, 1 and 2? This is my working loop right here. This is what separates me. Okay. Pull up a loop through just those 2. If you're new to this, it's kind of tricky, but you can get used to it. And then pull it on through to your working And there you go. You have just joined your hooks or your loops together. Now to finish it off, chain one and pull it nice and long and tighten it, and with your scissors cut. I like to keep my tail about as long as one of the ends. Again, I'm using big scissors, but that's okay because I'm a big girl. Alright, so now we have our little square, which looks nothing like a square right now because it's very wavy. But see how our hole has opened up? It was not that size when we started. So flip it over to the back and pull on your thread until it closes. Now, if you want to, before you pull your thread, you can loop it through and just kind of secure it more. I like to do that afterwards using, you can use a really small hook to do it, or you can use a needle, a crochet needle, to weave in your ends. But as you can see, it is nice and tight now, and we have this white end and our center end. And our, see where our tail has started to come loose from? You can pull it just a little bit, push it to the back for now. But like I said, once you've washed it or something, you might change your mind and want to snip it or make it weave in again. But there you go. There, for the most part, is a square that is fairly square. Like I said, once you have laid it out and blocked it or washed it, or however you make your squares a nicer square, it works perfectly. So that's how you do it. Mom, I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you can actually learn to crochet instead of asking me to crochet things for you. So, good luck!